Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Mike from the Inner Circle, and what I got for you today is an overview of the two probably most popular baseball games available on the Xbox One. The Major League Baseball season is about halfway through, I would say, at this point, so this is a pretty good time to kind of do an overview of these games. Now, the first thing you need to know about these games, the games that we're going to be looking at are Super Mega Baseball Extra Innings and RBI Baseball 17, again on the Xbox One. Now, if you're somebody that owns a PS4 and you're really into baseball, like you're a hardcore Major League Baseball fan, you're a fan of the simulation aspects that the PlayStation series gives you, then you could safely skip past this video. Because if you're a hardcore baseball fan and you want a really authentic, true to life MLB experience, then you're just going to want to get a PS4 and pick up MLB The Show 17. Because right now that is the only AAA baseball game that's on the market. It's also the best baseball game that's on the market by far, and it isn't close. That's not to say that these two games are bad per se, but like I said, if you're a baseball fan, MLB The Show on the PS4 is going to be the definitive experience for you. But let's say you only own an Xbox One, or maybe you own all the consoles and you're not really in the market for a hardcore full-featured baseball game. You want something that's a little bit more arcadey, a little bit more casual, I guess you could say. That's kind of a dirty word nowadays in gaming, but it's not a bad thing. If you fall into that market where you want a more arcade-like, more simple baseball experience, and you're on Xbox One, these are your two main choices. You got Super Mega Baseball Extra Innings, and you got RBI Baseball 17. It is worth mentioning that these are not Xbox exclusive games. Both of these games are also available on the PS4 as well. So the game that you're seeing here, this first game, is Super Mega Baseball. This was a game, I believe, last year that was quote-unquote free on Games with Gold. You can buy it on the Xbox Store now if you missed it for, I believe, it's $19.99. Now, don't be fooled by the visual presentation of this game, because the visual presentation, it's a pretty good looking game for what it is. It's very bright looking, it's more cartoony, the character models are exaggerated, but what you'll find with this, if you compare it to RBI Baseball, is there's a lot more depth with this game. First off, you actually have some degree of customization. Now, before I get to that, before I forget, it's worth mentioning that Super Mega Baseball does not have an MLB license. So you're not getting licensed teams, licensed players, stadiums, or any of that with this game. It's all fictional teams, stadiums, characters, etc. You do have some degree of character customization. Now, you can't customize the attributes and the stats of each character in the game, but you can edit their name and their appearance, which is appealing to a degree. Since it's not a licensed game, if you want to do something like this, you can make a team that has all your buddies on it, for example. So that's a pretty cool feature. Other than that, the customization is a little bit limited. The teams in the game, like I said, they're fictional teams. You got the Moose, you got the Sirloin, the Bumblebees, whatever they're called. And each team has their own attributes. Like certain teams are more speed focused. Other teams consist of power hitters. Other teams consist of pitching experts. And that's kind of how the teams are based in the game. Now, the actual batting and pitching mechanics in this game are excellent. Batting and pitching feels kind of like the old, I can't think of the name of this, Triple Play. It kind of feels like the Triple Play games, if you remember those from back in the day. Like Triple Play 2002, which is, in my opinion, the greatest baseball game ever made. It kind of feels like that in a sense, or maybe N64 era baseball games. So overall, the mechanics in this game are really, really good. The game controls as you would expect. The difficulty is really, really scalable. You got an ecosystem that goes from 1 all the way up to 99, with 99 being the hardest. So you really can fine-tune this game to match your level of baseball experience, your skill with baseball games, etc. So it's very user-friendly in that regard. It's a really, really good game in my opinion. The only thing with Super Mega Baseball is that the players move really slow during the fielding, and there's no online. So those are two demerits to that game. So the next game that you're seeing over here is RBI Baseball 17. Now, this is a game that's gotten a lot of hate. A lot of people say it's trash. But the fact of the matter is, I wouldn't say that it's necessarily trash. It's just a very basic game. This reminds me of NES era baseball games, which is actually where they got the RBI name from. It comes from the old RBI baseball games from that era. Like I said, it's basic. You have no customization modes. You only have the option to play exhibition games or season. You can't create your own team. You can't create your own players. There are roster updates so that it stays up to date throughout the rest of the season. The batting, fielding, and pitching mechanics are very simple. Again, it pretty much is the same thing as NES baseball games from back in the day. And there is some fun value in that. But like I keep saying, the game is just very basic. The modes are very basic. The graphics are very basic. This is a game that's also on mobile devices, so they had to make sure they had to scale the graphics of this game. So it doesn't look horrible, but it doesn't look great either. There's no individual player models. The players don't really have any personality. The fields are very sterile. They got those two-dimensional, old-school, 2D cutout crowds for the fans and the audience. Like I said, I don't think that it's a bad game per se. It's just very simple. Now, where this game does have appeal over Super Mega Baseball is there's actually an online mode here where you can play over Xbox Live or PSN if you get it on the PlayStation 4. I did not try the online. I don't know what the community is like for this game, how many people are playing it. Xbox community might be a little bit larger than the PlayStation community because on PS4 everybody's playing the show. Nobody's going to be playing this. And this does have an MLB license, so you have official teams, players, ballparks, etc. So at the end of the day, with these two games, I don't think either game is bad per se. Again, none of them are going to stack up to MLB The Show. Out of these two games, I do think Super Mega Baseball is the better game out of the two, just because the pitching and the batting mechanics are a little bit more in-depth, and you have some more customization options versus what you have in RBI Baseball. But RBI does have that MLB license and the teams, players, and stadiums that come with that. And RBI Baseball actually provides a little bit more of an arcade-like experience compared to Super Mega Baseball. If you're on the fence deciding between these two games, Super Mega Baseball, like I said, is $20. RBI Baseball right now is, I believe, $13.39 on Xbox Live. So price, more or less, it's a wash between the two games. If you're on the fence between these two games, go on YouTube. There's lots of gameplay out there. Watch a gameplay for both of these games. See what appeals to you more. For me, Super Mega Baseball is the better game, although I am having some fun with RBI Baseball too. Give it, if you need that MLB license, give it a chance. It's cheap enough, and I'm sure you'll find that it's not as bad as everybody makes it out to be. It's just basic. There's really no presentation. There's no commentary. But the core gameplay, that NES era style gameplay, is pretty good in RBI Baseball. Anyway, guys, if you've played these games, which one do you think is better? Let me know down in the comments below. Make sure you check me out in the Inner Circle at ticgn.com, also on Xbox, PlayStation, Twitter, Nintendo Switch, and also on the Multiverse Show, which next week we're going to have Giant Sparrow on for an interview. So make sure you guys check that out. Alright guys, this is Mike. I'll catch you later. Peace.